Trade Genius.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Philip with Trade Genius. So yeah, this video I wanted to talk about Ethereum Classic. Now, there's a lot of hype because it's being added to Coinbase. Now, I wanted to kind of clarify what that meant because there's two things that happen whenever Coinbase adds a new currency or cryptocurrency. So they're going to add it to the trading platform first, which is different than Coinbase retail, or what they consider Coinbase consumer, which is the normal website you see when you want to go ahead and buy something on Coinbase, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, or Ethereum Classic now. But they'll add it to their trading platform. So in the past, that was GDAX. All right, now they have several different platforms, but GDAX is now considered Coinbase Pro. And they have a couple other ones, Coinbase Prime. You know, that stuff is going to get the Ethereum Classic first, those platforms, so you can trade it. Now, 1 to 2 weeks later, they will add Ethereum Classic to Coinbase. Now, that's a little different because in the past, Litecoin and Ethereum were added much early or much later to Coinbase when they were first added to the trading platform at GDAX. So this time frame is a little bit more compressed. So I think the actual effect of, you know, adding it to their platform now and making it tradable soon here, they're accepting transfers today. And looks like after a couple of days, when things are ready, they'll go ahead and start activating the trading. So we had a little pop. And so what I wanted to cover was, you know, is it a good time now to get into it? And we can look at what happened with Litecoin and we can look at what happened with Ethereum. And we're also going to compare that to kind of like the larger picture of the altcoin cycle and where it's expensive in the altcoin cycle and where it's cheap. So, you know, again, what I wanted to point out was that Coinbase, you know, historically is going to add a trading pair to the trading platform first, and then to Coinbase, which is the, you know, the retail interface basically. So what I want to do is kind of switch over to the charts and show you guys what happened when both Litecoin and Ethereum were added. So what we can do is switch over. Let's do that now. And we'll look at Ethereum. So you notice I have this on a log chart so that you can just kind of, you know, we don't have scaling issues on this. This is when it was added. This is July 21st, 2016. They added Ethereum. And as you can see, there was a bit of a run up, then a big drop, and then it kind of consolidated, and then it fell back over again. And not until we got into the bull cycle, right, that it started ramping up, okay? So just because I think it's obvious that you get added to a platform, you're going to get a short-term pop. But you have to be, you know, don't think you're going to see just a run up like you saw over here, right? In this area. That's going to be part of a larger bull cycle. So not just a special one-off event because it was added to Coinbase. Again, similar to Litecoin, adding Litecoin May of 2017. But what was the difference there? We were already in an up bull cycle in the whole market. So, and that had a pop on the ad, and it more or less sustained that from when the pop happened the day of, and then it came back tested it over here, and then it rose higher. Continued to rise higher until everything kind of topped out in 2017. So if we look at the altcoin, this is the altcoin channel. This is on a logarithmic chart. This is when Ethereum was added to Coinbase, and this is when Litecoin was added to Coinbase. So you could see that, you know, you have to keep in mind where we are on the larger trend. Now, timing-wise for Ethereum Classic is at the bottom of this channel. So obviously, risk-reward ratio here is really good. So it's worth taking a stab. One thing you guys will notice, though, is that we tend to have these consolidation periods. Like over here, you know, it runs to, like here it ran to about October. And then what did we do? We just dropped all the way into December. That's 2016. 2017, consolidated to about October, dropped into December. So keep that in mind when you're positioning into Ethereum Classic. Now, make no mistake, because they've added this fiat on-ramp for Ethereum Classic, you know, Coinbase serves a lot of customers in different countries. So, as well as institutional, and Ethereum Classic will be added to the custodian services. So this means funds can hold it as well. As far as Ethereum Classic as a crypto, that's the original Ethereum chain. It does have a different development team, but they are active and they are working on it. And we covered that in the other video. But I think this is a good risk reward ratio for Ethereum Classic here. But, I want to switch to the Ethereum Classic chart. And as you can see here, and guys, if you want to learn how we trade these things and you want to determine what's bearish and when should you be shorting or when you should be buying, don't forget we have our courses. We have our back to school specials, so check those out. Well worth the money. Tons of hours. So price per lesson is very, very inexpensive. I think you'll find them well worth it, and that'll be great tools in your arsenal for trading and knowing the best optimal times to get into these things for risk reward. But anyway, back to the chart. If you look at where we're at, so we had this pop. This is the daily ETH Classic chart. Let's get the scaling right here. And so we've had this big pop here, and this is a very bearish candle, a shooting star. And so, now what you're looking at is that's typical. We see that obviously this channel has been holding the daily value really well. So overbought it at the top and oversold at the bottom. So, the thing here is obviously if we get back to the lower part of this channel, that's a screaming buy, especially because going forward, looking forward, we're going to see, if you got a fiat gateway or a fiat on-ramp for a particular crypto, as you can see with the other charts, Ethereum and Litecoin, they're going to benefit from that, because when we do get back into an overall cycle up, right, they're going to have a lot of leverage when we get back into that environment. So the point of this is that just because we're getting added to Litecoin doesn't mean that we're going to immediately see it just a long-term sustained pop. In fact, we might have seen kind of a blow-off move here, and better to see if we can pick it back up around that 0.002 level. Now, it could find support mid-channel and back up, and that's also bullish. And so really what you got to do is get into the smaller time frames, and we get into that in our courses too, and finding those levels. We recently closed out a trade on Ethereum Classic. We got in around the 0.0023 level, and we closed it out up here at the 0.28, mainly because we were getting into the top of this channel and a sustained move. As you can see, several big daily bars leading up to this. This first bump up here was when they alluded to they were going to be adding Ethereum Classic to Coinbase, and then this recent bump was running into the announcement that they actually were adding it, accepting incoming transfers today, and then firing it up on the trading platform in a couple of days. So this is kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news type move. These markets are getting more sophisticated, so you are going to see more types of moves, more types of psychology that you see in more longer term traditional markets. So crypto's evolving, getting more mature, and trading strategies have to get a little more sophisticated. And you kind of have to try to outthink the masses, So, but you do want to keep our technical levels in mind, and so I just wanted to point that out on the short-term stuff here with Ethereum Classic. You want to see that where you're oversold or overbought, and really leverage those to your advantage. So there you have it. Ethereum Classic, I think, definitely has potential over the next 12 to 24 months. Probably going to see some nice trading ranges. Again, like I said, in the room, we just closed out a positive trade on that for a nice gainer. And I think we're going to have a lot more opportunities with it. So, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a perspective on what can happen after it's added. And really, I think you can see that it's more about what the overall market's doing versus just the add to Coinbase. Although that's a very positive thing, and that'll facilitate a much higher run up, I think, in it as the altcoin market and crypto in general gets back into another secular bull cycle. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. Next video, we'll talk about the Bitcoin technicals, where we're at with the price action, and how that looks for the rest of the week. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.
Trade Genius.